In short, discipline is a very important thing. It's because yun po ang mag-govern po sa inyo on a day-to-day basis. Every day, no one is telling you to when and where you are going to start your business. Every day, no one will tell you this is how you are supposed to do, this is how you are supposed to have, what you are supposed to do. Walang magsasabi. In fact, walang mag-check sa'yo ng time in or time out. Wala. You will be on yourself in matters of doing things. If na-notice nyo, every single week, nakaplat po yung mga schedules natin. Every week. In fact, all of our weekly schedules are already been on the board. So alam na ninyo kung ano yung mga schedules natin from Monday to Saturday. Nasa sa inyo na po yan if you will be tuning in. Let's say for example, tonight, this afternoon, nasa sa inyo po yan if you're gonna be tuning in or not. No one will, yes, there would be someone that will remind you, meron pong magpaalala, but no one actually can force you to be here or to attend. That's the reason why we have options. You can either join with us here in the Zoom or you could either join us in the Facebook Live. Either way, those things are governed by self, no? Desisyon natin. So, ang pag-uusapan natin po, ito ay continuation sa mga inumpisahan na natin last week. Doon sa usapin tungkol po sa disiplina. In fact, before I left off, nagbigay ako ng example na on the places that I have gone to outside the country, I have noticed it that Filipinos outside of the country are obedient. Sumusunod ho sila. Hindi kailangan may nakabantay para sabihan sila na huwag tumawid kasi nakastop. Di po kailangan may nakabantay para susundin nila ang batas sa pedestrian crossing. They are faithful in what they are going to do there outside of the country. It is because the culture of the place are actually all disciplined, no? So tayo, kahit hindi tayo masyadong disiplinado mga Pilipino, pagdating natin sa ibang bansa, dahil nakikita natin doon sa mga kasamahan natin sa Singapore, for example, disiplinado sila, sumusunod tayo. In our case, dito po sa Pilipinas, the culture dictates na it's okay not to be disciplined. But however, we have found it out that one of the basic ingredients sa success po ay discipline. Discipline is so important that it allows you to schedule your day. If you have the discipline, you get things done. Alam mo bakit? Because alam mo kung ano yung dapat mong gawin sa umaga, sa hapon, sa gabi, and you exactly know what are the things that you need to accomplish hour after hour. Ganun po ang mga taong mga disiplinado. Ang taong disiplinado ay hindi mo na siya kailangang utusan. Hindi mo na siya kailangang sabihan everyday na ito yung gagawin, yan, ganito. Hindi na. Automatic ho. He gets straight on board. Alam mo bakit? Because he's disciplined. Last week, pinag-usapan natin na ang taong disiplinado ay responsable. If naalala niyo po yun. Pinag-usapan natin last week na ang taong disiplinado ay responsable. He always remember the task that is given to him. Alam mo bakit? Kasi he knows that the things that he needs to do has a greater impact dun sa gusto niyang marating. Every time na nagtatanong ako kung sino ba sa inyo dito ang may pangarap, lahat po kayo sasagot na may pangarap. In fact, lahat po tayo, I don't know kung meron bang taong walang pangarap. I think wala, meron talaga yan eh. It's not about how small and how big is your dream, but the point here is that every one of us, at a certain point, do have dreams. A lot of people nagkatotoo or naabot nila yung mga pangarap nila. Pero what exactly causes them to reach the goal. Ano ba talaga ang nangyari kung bakit nila nakuha nila ang mga pangarap nila? Malamang may ginawa talaga sila. May ginawa sila kaya naabot nila ang mga pangarap. Maraming tao na nangarap, dumating na lang ang edad nila na medyo may edad na talaga. Pero yung pangarap is nananatili lamang sa isipan. Ang tawag ko po doon ay hindi po yun pangarap, hindi po yun dream. Ang tawag ko po doon ay wish. Ang wish kasi ay isang passive action. Ibig sabihin, naghihintay ka lang, wala kang gagawin, para bang, I wish I could have this, I wish I could have that. So naghihintay ka lang. Ang dream kasi is an action word. Ibig sabihin, ito ay verb kasi action word eh. When you dream of something, you are going to do something about the dream. May gagawin ka talaga para maabot mo yung sinasabi mong pinapangarap mo. Hindi po basta-basta yan babagsak po sa kalangitan at bulaga, nandyan na yan. Hindi ho. Hindi po mangyayari yan. Every single day in our life, kahit nga doon sa pagkain hindi po mangyayari na magkakaroon po kayo ng pagkain sa lamesa kung ikaw at ako ay tatamad-tamad. Di kailangan mo talagang magtrabaho para may mailagay ka na pagkain sa lamesa mo. Hindi po siya basta-basta lang na mababagsak dyan ang isang litsyong manok. Hindi ganon. Ibig sabihin, you've got to do something in order for that thing you desire the most ay magkatotoo. Now, kung ano ang gagawin mo para o yung pangarap mo, it takes a discipline in order for you to consistently do what you have to do. Tingnan natin sa negosyo natin. Maraming nagsasabi bakit ako wala pa akong benta. Marami minsan nagchat-chat sa akin na wala siyang recruit. Ang always ko lang na tinatanong ay eto, nag-post ka ba? Minsan may mga sumagot na yes sir, nag-post naman. Ang next na tanong ko is ilang beses ka ba nag-post? Last week sir, patay tayo dyan. Wala yung consistency. Maliwanag yun, kung nag-attend kayo ng orientation, maliwanag yun eh. Ang sinabi natin is doing the business daily. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng daily? Next week? The other week? Hindi. Ang ibig sabihin ng daily, araw-araw ho. Ano ba yung gusto kong iparating na message dun sa vision na yon? Simple lang po ang gusto kong iparating na message. Be consistent in what you are doing. So doon sa mga nagchat-chat sa akin minsan nagtatanong kung ano ang dapat gawin para makabenta, para may recruit. Ang always ko lang talaga nasagot, nag-post ka ba? At next na sagot ko kung sabi nila na nag-post sila, ang next na sagot ko, ilang beses ka ba nag-post? Kasi if you are not consistent on what you are going to do, you are not going anywhere. Kung hindi mo kayang magiging consistent sa dapat mong gagawin, kalimutan mo na yung pangarap mo kasi hindi magkatotoo yan. Mapapagod ka lang. No, mapapagod ka lang. Dito po sa DPPI, kasama nyo po kami na tuparin yung mga pangarap nyo. Kami dito, tinatrabaho namin, dapat naming trabahuin kasi gusto namin na makamit ang pangarap ng bawat isang miyembro dito sa DPPI. Kung nag-attend kayo ng orientation, nakikita nyo na may mga nagkatotoo na sa mga pangarap nila. At hindi po magiging imposible na ikaw, balang araw, ay magkatotoo din yung pangarap mo. Would it be in a matter of time? Yes, it's a matter of time bago ho magkatotoo. But it's always a matter of what action na tinake mo. Kasi if you haven't done any action yet, then wala pong mangyayari doon sa sinasabi mo na pangarap mo. Right after the seminar, ang daming excited, ang daming motivated kasi nakikita nila ang mga success story ng mga tao. Nakikita nila sino yung mga na-promote, nakikita nila kung sino yung mga nag-qualify ng mga company benefit, nakikita nila kung sino-sino yung mga car achievers, mga homeowner achievers. Nakikita nila motivated sila. Mataas yung excitement level. Pero ang question ay always this one. Would you be willing to take action para yang nangyari sa kanila ay mangyayari din sa iyo? Alam mo ano ang kailangan para makapag-take action ka? Ang tawag po dyan ay disiplina. Kaya nga magpapalabas po tayo ng magiging official hashtag DPPI ako, disiplinado ako. Oh. Kasi gusto natin na every DPPI member is disiplinado. Disiplinado sa lahat ng mga bagay-bagay. Disiplinadong maagang gumising, disiplinado na gawin ang dapat gawin, disiplinado na mag-post, disiplinado na mag-site tour, disiplinado na mag-attend ng training, disiplinado na mag-attend ng mga PKS at kung ano-ano pa. The point here is this. You and I has to develop the word discipline. I am not there 24 hours a day to tell you what to do. I'll be counting on your discipline in order for us to accomplish our greater task. Yesterday night, there were a few of our colleagues who went and visited to my place. We have Michelle Bidia, we have Cons Lisondra, sila mag-asawa, sina Adonis at Jackie, kasama nila yung mga anak nila, sina Milchora Berdan, pumunta po. But what we have there is that actually, just having fun, no? Nagbabarbecue kami. But napag-usapan namin yung 2021. And I told them, my desire for 2021 is to reach 1 billion sale. And for me to reach that goal, the 1 billion sale, I need to do a lot of programs in order for us to take where we are right now to our destination, which is 1 billion peso sale. So, nag-share kami. Bakit? Ano bang nangyari sa 2019? Ito yung nangyari. 2019, may benta tayo ng mga 300,000 at 300 million lang. No, yun lang yung nakayanan natin 2019. Nang dumaan ang pandemic 2020, akala natin wala, patay na, bagsak tayo nito. Pero pumalo tayo sa mga 600 plus million. So nagdoble. So ibig sabihin, if kaya nating dumoble mula 2019 to 2020 na nasa gitna pa tayo ng pandemic, ibig sabihin, kakayanin natin today tungo sa 2022 na yung 600,000 ay magiging 1.2 billion peso na benta. Buong kumpanya. So in short, kailangan natin na disiplina lahat dito. Disiplina na kailangan natin mag-recruit lahat. Disiplina na kailangan natin talagang mag-PKS, mag-site tour. Kaya nga kanina I endeavor to go on a site tour. Sumama ako doon sa site tour nila sa Liluan because I have to start doing it although may mga schedules ako na naka-live. I'm keeping track of my schedule. Why? Because I need and I have to. So we need to be on track of all the things na dapat po natin gawin. So, guys, I would like to invite you in this journey. Samahan niyo ako. Malayo po ang mararating natin dito. At kaya natin to. No? Kayang-kaya natin to. Okay? Now, number one, when we talk about discipline, we've got to establish a routine. Routine is part in developing a discipline. In developing discipline. Pag hindi po kayo makapag-establish ng ano yung daily routine mo, malabo pong ma-assess ninyo na magkakaroon kayo ng disiplina sa mga gagawin ninyo. Alam mo anong mangyayari? Pag tulog mo paggabi, wala. Wala kang planong gumising ng maaga. So anong nangyari? Ang dami mong hindi nagawa sa umaga at the next thing you know, hapon na. Anong mangyayari? Sasabihin mo na lang sa sarili mo, sige, bukas na lang yan. Hapon na eh. So you have to establish a pattern, a routine. Okay. Now, ako, masyadong define yung routine ko sa bahay. No? Um, may kasama kami sa bahay, no? Si Miss LV. Usually kasi si Miss LV yung who's taking care of me eh. So, alam niya kung ano yung gagawin in the morning. Kasi in the morning, no matter how late I am when I sleep, I always wake up early. In the morning, no, I sat down on my table, read a few verses in the Bible, nakaupo ako doon. After a while, gigisingin ko na sila, iinom na ako ng shake ko, no? Nagfo-fruit shake ako eh, shake, no? So magshi-shake na yan kasi I'm not going to take my full meal in the morning. So shake lang. Then after which, na if I don't have a 9:45 schedule, kung wala pa akong 9:45 schedule, I go straight to the books, no? May mga libro akong binabasa at mga things na dapat kong sasagutin either in email or dyan sa Facebook kung may mga questions. And usually, paghapon, may mga reminders na yan. May mga reminders. So I go and browse my group chats if there are reminders na kailangan kong i-remind on the group chat sa mga agents natin. So tinitingnan ko yan, isa-isa. Ito, may PKS mamayang hapon. So send ko lahat yan. Set ko lahat yan sa lahat ng mga group chats na, of course, nung nandoon ako. So send ko yan. Bakit to? Kasi nagbibigay ako ng mga reminders. Post ang dapat na i-post for the reminders para on board ang mga agents sa gagawin nila on that day. Tapos I'll check on the schedule kung kailan yung mga naka-live stream ko. So tinitake note ko yan. Ito, and I prepare for that. Gaya nito ngayon, I went into tripping but I know that I have a 4:30 schedule. Wala akong internet sa bahay. I came to the office. Dito ako nag-broadcast ngayon. But 2 hours before, inayos ko na tong presentation ko kasi I know I have a live broadcast mamayang 4:30. And tonight, then few polishes, then another day. What is important is that you have plot your schedule and that when you wake up in the morning, you exactly know kung ano dapat yung gagawin mo. I am a man of schedule. I usually don't work without schedule. The reason why I always plot schedule because it helps me define what are the things that are important and the things that are not important. To the things that are not important, I have learned to say no. To the things that are valuable, I keep it and have a commitments with it. That is the reason why I always plot schedule. To those na mga BDM, alam nila yan na I am very particular with schedule. I plot them in the group chat dun sa mga BDM. Na if you haven't noticed, we already have a schedule all throughout January kahit hindi pa po tapos yung January. And in fact, right now, on the last week of February, we are already starting to plot our schedule for the month of February. Alam mo bakit? Because we cannot just wake up in the morning not knowing what to do. Hindi po dapat na gumising ka every morning na hindi mo alam kung ano yung dapat mong gawin. Dapat alam mo kung ano yung gagawin mo at saan ka pupunta. Dapat naka-define yan. Kasi if you are not going to plot your schedule, hindi mo makikita na may ginawa ka sa mga pangarap mo. Remember, your dreams doesn't just happen overnight. There are things that you are going to do in a daily basis para unti-unti kang makakarating dun sa pangarap mo. Now, kung hindi mo isusulat yan, kung hindi mo ipaplano yan, then therefore, very simple lang po ang statement ko. If you fail to plan, then you are planning to fail. Ganun lang po yun. If you fail to plan, then you are planning to fail. Your plan will help you establish your routine. And when you plan, you have routine. Then as you put up the routines, then slowly, little by little, discipline is developed along the way. Magiging disiplinado ka. Kasi alam mo, nagigising ka nito, alam mo, magpo-post ka ganito, alam mo, magsa-site ka, alam mo, mag-a-attend ka ng pikis, alam mo exactly the things that you're going to do at alam mo kailan mo dapat siya gawin. That is routine. And when you get used to that, believe me, everything becomes automatic. Hindi na po kayo kailangan pang sabihan na ito yung gawin mo, ito yan, ito to, ito to. Wala na. Everything will comes automatic. That is how discipline is developed. You start establishing a routine on yourself. Okay? So, in short guys, etong pinag-usapan natin today, wala pong ibang gagawa nito kung hindi ikaw. I cannot do that for you. Juliet cannot do that for you. Your uplines cannot do that for you. Your consultant cannot do that for you. Anybody, even your family cannot do it for you. You know what? Because it only takes you to do it. Ikaw lang talaga ang pwedeng gumawa niyan. Kaya nga, I always say this, nothing beats self-motivation. I can motivate you on the external, but self-motivation is much more sustaining because it comes from within. Discipline. Look at, for example, I can discipline my children the way I want them to be disciplined. Pwede kong paluin yan every day kung tutuusin. But that is exactly the kind of discipline lang ba? Hindi. Not until they are able to discipline themselves to do the right thing, I will never be a perfect father to them. Medyo kulang talaga pag ako. Dapat magagaling talaga sa kanila ang mga disiplina na kailangan nating ma-develop. Pero anong ginawa natin, parents? Nagbibigay lang tayo ng guide, ng routine para ma-develop yung disiplina nila. Sa bahay, for example, sa bahay kasi, una, siyempre marami kami, in order to set a pattern, gumawa kami ng schedule. O sino maghuhugas nitong araw na ito? May schedule. Sino maghuhugas ng plato? Sino ang magwawalis sa labas? May mga schedule. Ano ang schedule sa labas? Ayan, naka-plot lahat. Bakit ginawa ko yan sa bahay? Alam mo bakit? Because we want to establish a routine. And when routine is established, ang kasunod po dyan ay disiplina. Ang kasunod po dyan ay disiplina. So kung ma-develop na po ang routine at ma-develop na po ang disiplina, alam nyo anong mangyayari? Automatic, ang mga downlines ninyo ay magpo-post yan, magsasaitor yan, magpipks yan, mag-a-attend ng training yan, magre-recruit yan, kahit hindi mo sabihan. Alam mo bakit? Kasi na-establish na po ang routine. Okay? Na-establish na po ang routine. So yun ang kailangan gawin natin. We have to establish a routine so that discipline can be developed. Okay? So, are we learning so far? Yan. Kape muna ako, ha? Sarap ng kape. Coffee person kasi ako, guys, Coffee person. Okay. Next tayo. One needs to establish his regular day. Having a routine, you will be able to establish how your regular day would look like. Alam mo, for those people who have been with me for the longest time, alam nila yan na I really don't accept the reason na busy. Not that it doesn't exist. Hindi po na dahil hindi yan nag-i-exist, hindi ko yan ina-accept na rason because nagiging rason na lang talaga siya. Nagiging alibay na lang na hindi magawa ang dapat magawa kasi keso busy. Pero ang totoo naman hindi. If maika-establish po kayo ng routine, makikita mo po kung ano ang hitsura ng regular na araw mo. How your regular day would look like. Ganito pala yung mga regular days ko. Alam mo, when somebody asks me when I will be free, for example, may kumontak sa akin na gusto makipag-appointment at tatanungin ako when I will be free, I can name them sa the schedule. I can be free and this. I cannot be free on that. Bakit ho? Because I know exactly how my regular days would look like. Pag hindi mo alam kung ano yung hitsura ng regular days mo, alam mo ano yung sasabihin mo pag meron kang appointment? Um, Text lang kita ha? Or tawagan kita kung libre ako. Yun ang magiging mangyayari. Because you don't know exactly how your regular days would look like. And if you don't know how your regular days would look like, how much more your busy day? Di ba? If you don't know exactly kung ano ang hitsura ng regular days mo, don't ever tell me you can even describe your busy day. You don't even know your regular day. Yung busy pa kaya? In short, busy is just only a byword as an excuse of not doing the things that you need and have to do. Sabi pa nga nila kung may gusto kang ma-accomplish, ibigay mo yan sa taong pinaka-busy kasi gagawa niya ng paraan yan at lalagyan niya ng schedule para magawa niya ang pinapagawa mo. Pero yung tao na wala talagang ginagawa sa buhay, bigyan mo yan ng assignment, hindi yan magagawa. Alam mo bakit? Hindi na-establish yung routine. Hindi niya alam kung anong hitsura ng regular days niya. Akala niya buong araw siya nagiging standby ay busy na siya. Anong ginawa mo? Busy ako masyado. Ano nga yung ginawa mo? Nakaupo lang ako. Nanonood ako ng TV. Pero busy siya, ha? Nanonood ng TV, pero busy siya. May mga taong ganun. Akala nila busy sila, pero ang ginagawa, nanonood ng TV. Have you tried inviting someone into the seminar? Yung mga seminar natin, mag-invite tayo. Ay, attend ka ng seminar bilang isang real estate agent. Yan. Nung bigyan mo na ng schedule, ang isasagot, ay busy ako, hindi ako makapag-attend. So, ang ginawa ng mga agent, Sir Jove, hindi sila makapag-attend ng 9:45 in the morning, busy sila. Meron bang gabi? Sige, lagay tayo ng gabi. Sige, may alas 8 na. May schedule na ng alas 8. Sir Jove, hindi pa kasi sila nakakauwi ng alas 8. Sige. Lagyan natin ng 11:30 p.m. Ngayon may 11:30 p.m. tayo na schedule. Imagine, when everyone is sleeping, here I am talking, 11:30 p.m. But the point here, we can have all the schedule we want, but not until we know how our regular days look like. Every day is just the same day. Every day is just the same day. Dapat ba maintindihan natin that we cannot be in all places at the same time. And you cannot be master of all. Hindi po siya magiging ganun kadali na magiging alam mo lahat kung anong project na nasa labas. But it takes a lot of discipline in order for you to start learning one project after the other. There was a time that somebody asked me na I can't remember who asked me, but there was one who asked me about a certain project, and that project hindi naman sa may alam ako, pero a bit of an idea lang. And tapos after na sinagot ko, sabi niya na pasensya na Sir Jofa, nag-PM ako kasi sa iyo ako nagtanong kasi alam ko na alam mo lahat. Shock ako, alam ko lahat, grabe. Parang Diyos, no? All-knowing. No? Parang Diyos, all-knowing. Parang si Google, parang ganun. Pero sinagot ko siya, ay ma'am, hindi ko naman talaga alam lahat. Ang ginawa ko lang, naghanap po ako sa sagot ng tanong nyo doon sa group chat. Hindi ko alam lahat. Naghanap lang ako ng sagot sa tanong niya doon sa mga group chat. Bakit yun ang response ko? Bakit yun ang ginawa ko para masagot ko yung tanong niya? That is born out of a routine. That is born out of a pattern. That is born out of a discipline. That kung meron kang question, kung meron kang katanungan, kung meron kang inquiry, ano nga yung dapat nating gawin kung meron kang tanong na hindi mo alam ang sagot? Ang una mong gagawin ay pupunta ka sa team group chat. Yung team na group chat mo, magtanong ka doon, magtanong ka sa lahat ng gusto mong itanong kasi may makakasagot po doon. At kung walang sasagot agad, magpasensya hanggang makakuha ng sagot. Tapos pag nakakuha ka na ng sagot, alam mo na kung ano yung project, ang next na step, ano nga yung tinuturo ko? Ang next na step, magpa-add ka sa developers group chat. Pag nandun ka na sa developers group chat, ay doon ka magtanong with regards to the project. Yun po ang ginawa ko. Yun ang ginawa ko. Nagtanong ako, nagpa-add ako sa group chat ng developer, kinuha ko yung information, saka ko binigay doon sa nagtanong sa akin. Tapos sabi niya, nagtanong siya sa akin kasi alam ko daw lahat. Sabi ko, hindi ko alam lahat. Disiplinado lang ako kasi may routine tayong ini-establish, may pattern tayong na-establish, may sistema tayong in-establish. Alam mo bakit? Para sundin. Sorry. Para sundin natin. Di ba? So in short, we can never establish a routine or we cannot even establish a system and a pattern if hindi po tayo maumpisahan na i-plot mo yung mga schedules niyo para you would exactly know how your regular days would look like. Now, this is precisely the reason why you need to establish your purpose. Itong lahat na pinag-usapan natin, magkaroon ng sistema, magkaroon ng plano, para makita mo yung regular days mo. This is exactly the reason why always na sinasabi ko na you need to establish your purpose. Ano ba talaga yung purpose mo na nag-join ka dito sa DPPI? Ang gusto mo lang ba mag-enjoy? Ang gusto mo lang ba para nag-attend ka ng mga site tour, may libreng snacks? Or ano ba yung purpose mo? Makipagkaibigan, to gain friends? We can do that. In a process, we can gain friends. But what is it that you really wanted to have? Ano ba talaga yung pinakarason mo kung bakit ka nandito? If you remember it, every time na magkakaroon po tayo ng seminar, I always ask this: sino ba dito sa inyo ang may matinding pangangailangan? And all of you answer na kayo ay may matinding pangangailangan. But have you really examined yourself kung ano ba talaga or gaano ba talaga katindi ang pangangailangan mo? Kasi if you have really examined yourself and you exactly know at nakikita mo kung gaano katindi yung pangangailangan mo, then definitely you are able to define your purpose every single day. That every time you wake up in the morning, alam mo kung bakit ka gumising ng maaga, alam mo kung bakit mo ginawa yan, alam mo kung bakit pupunta ka dito, mag-a-attend ka nito, alam na alam mo ang lahat ng rason kung bakit mo siya ginagawa araw-araw. Precisely, you have your purpose. Na-establish mo yung purpose mo. So, kung hindi po natin ma-establish kung ano yung purpose mo, ang mayayari dyan, aabutan tayo ng siyam-siyam dyan. Wala tayong makikita na disiplina sa bawat isa sa atin. Discipline is so important that when you and I have this, kung ikaw at ako ay meron nito, malayo at malayo ang mararating natin sa buhay. Because we will be able to do things independently. Diba? Nakita nyo? We will be able to do things independently. We will not be dependent on people. Oh, sorry. We will be disciplined to do things. What are the things na kailangan talaga natin gawin? Kaya nga, because of this word discipline, I've quite noticed that we've got a lot of people in the organization, but the discipline is not there. And I think we need to start talking about it. And I think we need to start talking about it. It's because it's very important. No? And especially right now that in this coming February, I'll be coming up with my mastermind session. Now, the mastermind session is a very exclusive session. I will only take 10 people for enrollees for that in my mastermind session. And it's going to be handled by me personally. And it's going to be a program that will run for 3 hours. It's going to be a program that will run for 3 hours. As much as possible, I really wanted to have the mastermind session face-to-face and not on the Zoom. Siguro mag-uumpisa ako dito sa medyo nandito, malapit-lapit. Then dun sa mga medyo malayo-layo, then we have no other choice but to do it via Zoom. No, but again, it's only limited for 10 people per session. Okay? And I'm gonna come up with my schedule with that early ngayon siguro February. No? Siguro sa darating na February magpapalabas na ako ng mga schedule dun sa mastermind session natin. Because this is very important. That is the reason why this is the only thing that I always say na the reason why people in the other countries are so rich, so improving, is because they are disciplined. Disiplinado talaga sila. No? Go to South Korea, disiplinado sila. Go to Singapore, disiplinado. Everyone actually, they are all disciplined. So disiplina talaga, no? Your purpose will set the direction of your day. No? Yung purpose na na-identify mo sa sarili mo, yan ang magsiset sa direction mo sa araw-araw. Ito yung gusto kong mapuntahan. Pero kailangan ko itong gawin para makarating ako doon. Gaya na dyan, release ng tren. Nasa biyahe ako nito. Yun ang destination ko sa dulo ng tren na to. Pero may kailangan akong gagawin para makasakay ako sa tren na yan. Ganon din ang mga pangarap natin sa buhay. May kailangan kang gawin sa pangarap mo sa buhay para makarating ka doon sa lugar na gusto mong marating. Or sa mga bagay-bagay na ninais mong marating. Wala po tayong mararating hanggat wala po tayong identified purpose. So kailangan talagang magkakaroon tayo ng purpose. Ngayon, kung ikaw ay nakikinig ka sa akin dyan, ang tanong, alam mo na ba ang purpose mo? Alam mo ba kung ano yung rason kung bakit ka nandito sa DPPI? Kasi po ako, alam ko kung ano yung rason ko kung bakit nandito ako sa DPPI. Alam ko rin ang rason kung bakit ako gumagawa ng mga programa na ganito. Alam ko rin ang rason ko kung bakit ako may mga seminars at mga trainings. Alam ko ang mga reason behind that. Ngayon, ang tanong is ikaw, alam mo ba ang purpose mo? Kung hindi mo pa alam yung purpose mo, I think it's about time that you really need to think about it and start thinking about it seriously. Kasi hindi po siya po pwedeng ganon, friends. Na basta lang na may purpose, hindi ho. We cannot do that. We ain't gonna go anywhere if we are not going to define our purpose. Let's say for example, punta ka sa isang bus terminal. Imagine this punta ka sa bus terminal. Pagdating mo sa bus terminal, may mga bus po dyan na papunta sa iba't ibang mga lugar. Sabihin na lang natin dito sa Cebu. South Bus Terminal, may bus papuntang Karkar, Argao, Sibunga, Oslob, Dalagit, Mualboal at kung saan-saan pa. Na ngayon, pagdating mo sa bus or sa terminal ng bus, ano kayang mangyayari kung ikaw mismo, bit-bit mo yung bag mo at hindi mo alam kung saan ka papunta? Sa tingin mo, may masasakyan ka na bus kung hindi mo alam kung saan ka papunta? Wala. Alam mo anong gagawin mo? Titingin-tingin ka lang sa mga bus. pero hindi ka sure kung ano yung sasakyan mo. Ano yung gagawin mo pagdating sa terminal? Ganito na lang? Mini-money mo. Alin ba dito nga bus ang sasakyan ko? Ganun lang? Hindi naman. Pero, anong kaibahan kung alam mo na ang gusto mong marating ay makapunta ng Uslob? Gusto ko akong makapunta ng Uslob kasi gusto kong manood ng Butanding. Ayan, maliwanag. So anong gagawin mo pagdating sa bus terminal? South Bus Terminal. Pagdating mo sa South Bus Terminal, hahanapin mo, saan ba dito ang bus na papuntang Uslob? Ayan, Uslob. Sasakay ako dito. Alam mo bakit sasakay ako dito? Kasi gusto kong makapanood ng Butanding. Yun yung, alam mo yung purpose mo. Sumakay ako ng bus papuntang Uslob kasi gusto kong manood ng Butanding. Pero ngayon, mayroon pang isang problema. Ang Butanding dapat early makarating ako sa Uslob kasi ang Butanding hindi na nagpapakita ng hapon. Umaga lang. So ngayon, ang biyahe papuntang Uslob, sabihin na lang natin 2 oras, dapat before 2 hours makarating na ako doon na bago mag-alas 6. So ano yung gagawin mo ng mga disiplina? Alam mo na papunta ka sa South Bus Terminal, alam mo na bus na papuntang Uslob ang sasakyan mo, pero kailangan mo talaga makarating doon na early na morning at 6 o'clock para makita mo yung mga Butanding. So anong gagawin mo? Gigising ka ng maaga. Pupunta ka sa bus terminal, sabihin natin gigising ka alas 2, alas 3 ng madaling araw, pupunta ka sa bus terminal, sasakay ka ng bus papuntang Uslob para before 6 o'clock makakarating ka sa Uslob. Anong tawag mo doon? Defining your purpose. Nagiging disiplinado kang gumising kinabukasan. Bakit disiplinado kang gumising early in the morning? Kasi alam mo na papunta kang Uslob na kailangan mong makarating before 6 o'clock. At alam mo na kung darating ka ng hapon, hindi ka na makakakita ng Butanding. So anong mangyayari? Gigising ka talaga ng maaga. Nakita nyo guys, nakita nyo yung effect na kung meron kang purpose at ang effect doon sa magiging disciplines natin lahat. Yan. Are we learning so far? No, baka ako lang ang natututo dito. Parang ito kasi tinuturo ko sa sarili ko. Parang ako ang sarili ko yung nile-lecturean ko dito. Are we learning so far? Kayo po dyan sa Facebook Live, marami-rami kayo dyan. Are you learning so far? Dito sa Zoom kaya, are you learning? It's 5, anong time na ba? 5:14. We have 15 minutes more to go because I promised to end it at 1 hour. 4:30 to 5:30. Yan. Thank you, Mariano. So you define your purpose because it will set the discipline that you need. Defining it, knowing it, embracing that purpose, and you will exactly know what disciplines that you are going to have, what you're going to take. So how can you establish your routines? Okay. Now I'm gonna run some few in order for you to establish your routines. Okay. Number 1, have a purpose greater than yourself. Have a purpose greater than yourself. What is a purpose greater than yourself? Anything that you want beyond money, that is greater than yourself. Gagawin ko tong DPPI kasi gusto ko na dahil dito sa DPPI, makapagtapos ang mga anak ko sa kolehiyo. That is a purpose greater than yourself. And that is a purpose beyond money. Gusto kong kumayo dito sa DPPI kasi kung ako ay aasenso dito, makakabili ako ng bahay na para sa amin. Having a home. Having a home is a purpose greater than yourself. Gagawa ako magkakayod ako dito sa DPPI kasi gusto kong tulungan yung mga kapatid ko, gusto kong tulungan yung mga magulang ko. Well, that is a purpose greater than yourself. And when you have a purpose greater than yourself, I tell you, my friend, you will be like a machine when you work. Ang mangyayari dyan, parang lagnat lang ang bakasyon. Or even nga lagnat, nagtatrabaho ka eh. So you've got to know the purpose far greater than yourself. Money will never be a motivation. Money will never be an objective. Yes, we need money in order to buy the things we want. But what will happen if you have it? There has to be something beyond money itself. Mas mahigit pa sa pera. Kumbaga, mas mahal pa sa pera. Okay? Number 2, hindi. In short, don't chase after money. No? In short, don't chase after money. Because if you chase after money, you get tired. If you chase after money, you get tired when you don't get it. And if you are not going to get it here, the next thing you're going to do is you're gonna quit. Because you're gonna find things that are easy to do. Tatrabaho na lang ako, maging empleyado na lang ako. I'm not despising employment, ha? But that would be your reasonable option kasi hindi mo nakuha agad yung pera na gusto mo. And that's exactly for people that are going on chasing for money. Kaya nga the richest man in the world, sino ba ang the richest man in the world? Si Solomon, di ba? Solomon is the richest person ever lived. In fact, he is even labeled as the richest king ever lived. But ano ang sinabi ni Solomon? Doon po sa Songs of Solomon. Anong sinabi niya doon? Alam mo anong sinabi niya? Vanity, vanity, vanity. He was even the richest king ever lived. He was even the richest man in the whole world. But even his riches, ang sabi niya, lahat na to ay karangyaan lang. Vanity, vanity, vanity. And one day he get tired. Kasi kung totoo na ang pera talaga ang pinaka-ultimate, edi sana walang mayaman na nagpapakamatay. So it only means one thing. It's not true that money will just simply be the object that can make you happy. Greater purpose is the object that can make your soul happy. Don't chase for money. Chase for purpose. Chase for dream. Chase for principles in life. The next thing you know, all of the money you ever you wanted, you will have it. No? Makukuha mo. Having a life and use it to impact others is more valuable than money. Having a life and use it to impact others is more valuable than money. Alam mo, lahat tayo may mga downlines tayo dito. If you will make your life significant enough na maka-impact sa mga buhay ng mga downlines ng bawat isa sa mga downlines nyo, at nakikita mong may mga downline ka na nabago ang buhay from where he is and where he is now, yung life change, that is more than money. And when you see people have changed because you have impact their lives, ang mga pasasalamat niyan ay hindi matutumbasan ng pera. Kaya nga, if you have visited our office, kung nakabisita kayo sa opisina natin dito sa Edgemall, ang signage doon sa labas ay nakalagay DPPI. At sa baba, basahin nyo, Building People, Changing Lives. DPPI is in the business of building people and changing lives. And that's the reason why we're doing trainings. It's because we are building people and we're changing lives. The reason why we're teaching things like this is because we are building people and changing lives. Hindi nyo ba nakikita yung mga programa natin ay hindi lang po basta kayo turuan magbenta, but tinuruan kayo how to make it your life in a fulfilled manner. Yung fulfilled na buhay ang tinuturo natin. Balanse ang tinuturo natin. We want people to have earnings, but at the same time, we want people to have savings. We want people to earn, but at the same time, we want people to have investment that one day when they grow old, they have investment that continually give an income for them. Yes, we wanted to earn money. Yun ang gusto natin mangyari, makabenta kayo at magkaroon kayo ng pera. But at the same time, we want you to have a good and comfortable retirement. Alam mo bakit? Because DPPI is here to build people and to change lives. And that's the reason why all of our programs is defined in those objectives. Building people and changing lives. Pangalawa, know who you are. Kilalanin mo yung sarili mo. Sino ka ba talaga? Ano ka ba talaga? Kasi kung kilala mong sarili mo at alam mo kung sino ka, then you will exactly know what is it that you are capable of. And if you know who you are, at if you know what are the things that you can do, then definitely you will also know the things na hindi mo kaya. Yung mga things na hindi mo kaya, yun ay bigyan mo ng attention para ito po ay ma-develop. That's the reason why every day I read books. I read a lot of books. You know why? Because I know that I need to, because there are things in me that is kulang. I know what are the things that I can do, and I know exactly the things that I cannot do. I know the things that I know, and I know the things that I don't know. And what will I do to the things that I don't know? Well, I make steps, I make an endeavor to learn it. Dapat matutunan ko. Question. Ikaw, may ginawa ka ba sa mga bagay-bagay na hindi mo pa natutunan? Or hinahayaan mo lang siyang babagsak sa kalangitan at bulaga? Alam mo na. Hindi mangyayari yon. Kaya nga ako, inis na inis ako dyan sa icon na Juan Taman. Ayaw ko niyan. Mabuti na lang pinalitan ng gobyerno natin, hindi na Juan Tamad, Juan de la Cruz na. Masipag na. Never accept to yourself. Minsan kasi, minsan may sinasabihan ako na, alam mo, why won't you read books? Alam mo, ang sasagot sa akin, di lang ko Sir Juf, di ko ganahan mo basa. That's the reason why I ask you to read, because you don't like to read. Why won't you start developing yourself? What would your life be if you don't improve? You get my point? What would your life be if you are not going to improve even in little things? If you don't know that today, then endeavor to learn that tomorrow. Every day is a learning experience sa lahat po sa atin. Never say to yourself that you cannot do that unless you haven't tried it. Subukan mo muna. Gawin mo muna. Saka mo sasabihin sa sarili mo na hindi mo kaya. At kung ginawa mo, tanungin mong sarili mo, bakit niya nakaya? Bakit hindi ko makakaya? Ano bang meron siya na wala ako? May dalawa siyang mata, may dalawa rin akong mata. May ilong siya, may ilong din ako. Flat lang nga. Di ba? In short, the things na meron siya, meron ka rin. Bakit nagawa niya pero hindi mo magawa? Alam mo, probably, ang problema is ikaw. Nasa sayo ang problema. Because you yourself is the one putting limits to what you can possibly do. Ikaw ang naglagay ng limitasyon sa kakayahan mo. Bakit nagawa nila ni Novelin? Bakit nagawa nila ni Janice Paradero? Bakit nagawa nila ni Mary Verdad? Bakit nagawa ng kahit sino na nagiging consultant, nagiging manager, nagiging supervisor at hindi mo kayang gawin? In short, baka ikaw ang naglagay ng limitation sa sarili mo. So kaya nga, very important, know who you are. Know who you are. Okay? Dig deep inside you. Kalkalin mo yung deepness na sa sarili mo and know your strength. Every person in this world has a strength. As much as there is weakness as well. But our goal here is to find your strength. Ang problema dito, hindi ko pwedeng gawin yan para sa'yo. Ikaw ang gagawa yan para sa sarili mo. Dig down inside your gut and take a look at it. What is it that you are capable of? Baka ma-shock ka sa alam mo na kaya mong gawin. Hindi pa lang kasi natin binigyan ng pansin. In short, guys, before we endeavor to know others, let's endeavor to know ourselves first. Before natin pag-aksehan ng panahon na kilalanin lahat ng mga tao sa paligid natin, kilalanin muna natin yung sarili natin. Diba? Find out what you are good at. May malamang guys, meron isa dyan na magaling ka. Find out what you are good at. And whatever is that, develop that as a jumping board in order for you to achieve your goals. Find it, dig it, know it, and use it. Later on, makikita mo na kaya mo pala. No? Number 3, know what you are called for and pursue it. Know your calling, kumbaga. Knowing your purpose. No, that's part of knowing your purpose. Know what you are called for. There was even a time that I asked myself na, bakit kaya hindi ako naging doktor? Nag-third year medicine naman ako. 1 more year, mag-i-enter na ako, then magte-take ng board, maging doktor na. PGI, then doktor. Pero bakit nga ba ako hindi naging doktor? Because I'm not called for it. Kumuha ako ng BS Biology, sinubukan kong magturo sa school. Naging senior high teacher ako. I love teaching. But later on, I began to realize I'm not called for it. Yes, I can teach, but I'm not called for it. I went into planting churches, became a pastor, and little did I know that I can preach, I can share the word of God in the pulpit, but I'm not called to become a pastor. This is my calling. Because when I endeavor and do the things that I am called for, everything falls in perfect places. Meaning, each and every one of us have a design made by God. And whether you like it or not, that design will always be done. Kaya nga sinabi, thy will be done. Okay. Mangyayari talaga yan. God will going to maneuver all the situation in your life in order for you to be where you are supposed to be. Where you are right now is never an accident by God. You are there for a greater purpose, for a much better reasons. Not until you know what you are called for, everything in your life will be messy. But once you know what you are called for, pursue it. Pursue it with all your heart. Because you will be used by God mightily in there. Your gifts will be used. Your gifts will be multiplied. Your gifts will benefit others. Your gifts will inspire more people to be at their best. That's what happened when we pursue our callings. Okay? Remember that each of us is designed by God for something. We are not a mistake from God. Hindi ho nagkamali ang Diyos sa atin. Ako, huwag kayong maniwala dyan na may nagsasabi na we are good for nothing. No. Hindi po nagkamali ang Diyos sa atin. We are designed carefully by God for something. We are even built according to His image and likeness. Di ba? Then we are handcrafted personally. Number 4, and I'm about to end. You empower yourself with faith. Faith in God, faith in humanity, faith in the system, faith in the company. You can put all the kind of faith that you need, but put the greater faith that is in God. Because whatever faith you have in God, you will begin to trust whatever things that are subordinates or under God. If you have faith in God, then you are going to have the certain level of trust to your people, to your company, to your government, to your system, to the developer, to your client, and to whoever is that. Trust will be developed if you have put the greater faith that you need, and that is in God. And little you will notice, you will be empowered. Just keep praying and believing. Never close a day. Never open a day without a prayer. Never close a day without a prayer. A man who opens his eyes and never dared to pray, and a man that closes his eyes that never dared to pray, is just like telling to the God who created him or her that you are not my God. So if you truly believe that you have a God, then before you close your eyes tonight, you pray. And before you open your eyes, or just as you open your eyes in the morning, you pray. Why? Because you know that you are a created being and we have a creator. Kasi kung hindi mo gagawin yan, para mo lang sinabi na wala akong Diyos. Masakit, no? But that's real. Para mo lang sinabi na wala akong Diyos. Di ko na kailangan na mag-pray na yan. I can live without that. Pero wag mo lang natin kalimutan din na kahit si Satan kayang magbigay ng blessing. Baka ang ini-enjoy mo na blessing ay hindi galing kay Lord, baka galing kay Satan. Kumbaga, pray din pag may time. And lastly, I close with this one. And this would be my jumping board for my next Monday session, discipline. Discipline is equated with obedience. Discipline is equated with obedience. And baba ko to, and I'll close with this one. In life, we can talk on a lot of things. I can motivate you from inside out. I can encourage you, actually. But the fact of the matter is this, that we are an independent being. Can you just imagine how I have concluded that we are an independent being? Number 1, there are no two persons that have the same iris. Iris, when we say iris, itong, kung sa Bisaya pa, itong kalimutaw sa imong mata. Walang dalawang tao na pareho ang iris. Wala. Walang dalawang tao na pareho ang thumb mark. Walang dalawang tao na pareho ang thumb mark. Kahit twins, kambal, yung sinasabi nilang identical twins, kahit identical twins, believe me, hindi rin sila pareho ng thumb mark, hindi rin sila pareho ng iris sa mata. It means that every person has its own individuality. Which leads me to the point, as much as we are connected with each other, there is a certain things in our life that discipline needs to be developed because we are supposed to do things by our own. As much as we are, sabi ko as much as we are connected with each other, wala pong problema doon. We do it by groups, connected tayo, sabay-sabay tayo, grupo-grupo tayo. But there are things that are meant and designed by God na dapat gagawin talaga natin na personal. Alam nyo, as yung isa doon, discipline. Discipline can never be done by a group. Discipline can never be done by an external force. Yes, there would be a discipline that would be imposed, but the response to that obedience is done, the response to that discipline is done by you in person, and that is what you call obedience. Ang pagsunod mo sa disiplina na ginawa mo, ang tawag po doon ay obedience. You have obeyed. The saddest part is kailangan talaga natin tayo-tayo ang gagawa niyan. I cannot do that for you and you cannot do it for your downline. You do it by yourself. Okay? So guys, sana ho may natutunan tayo sa araw na to. Monday na Monday po. Next week, actually, mag-February na. So ang bilis po ng panahon, no? So sana ho, never waste a day. Our days in this world is numbered. So never, 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 never waste a day na wala kang ginawa para maabot mo ang pangarap mo sa buhay. Kung wala kang gagawin araw-araw para maabot mo ang pangarap mo sa buhay, patawad kaibigan, pero you are already good as dead. Ulitin ko ha, pag wala kang gagawin araw-araw para maabot mo ang pangarap mo sa buhay, you are as good as dead. I'm sorry for the word, but that is exactly what will happen. Thank you, and God bless you all. Bye-bye!